Welcome to Anything New. My name is Opie, and always I'm here with Pete.
Hello, friends.
And Matt.
What's up?
As everyone already knows, Anything New is a podcast where we talk about anything new we've been using, perusing, or consuming. Episode 47, guys. Almost to that 50 mark.
Ooh.
Episode 47, Mel Blount, middle linebacker, and four-time Super Bowl champ for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's give him a little recognition.
A little recognition.
4 times.
We've got a pretty good show for you today. We're going to talk about Fear Street 1994, which was it Matt's pick last week?
My pick.
Oh, sorry, Pete's pick last week. I'm going to tell you what I'm picking for us this week. We're going to talk about the MCU is back on the big screen with Black Widow. It's going to be a no spoilers version, so I don't think Pete saw that yet. And me and Matt have watched it, so we'll talk a little bit about it. Retro Bowl, which is a Tecmo Bowl-esque iOS Android app game for mobile devices. Pete's going to talk about that. And we're going to revisit Video Game 20 Questions, where I am the reigning champion and undefeated. Matt's got some pickups, and I've got some pickups. Pete, you got any pickups this week?
I do not.
Okay. All right. Well, if that's it, we'll jump right into it. Let's talk about Fear Street.
Let's talk about Fear Street.
Part
1.
Yeah.
Part 1, 1994. So Opie and I, right before Matt hopped on with us before we went live, we were talking about R.L. Stine and the whole Goosebumps thing. And it was just after like my childhood kind of generation, like I have like like my brother-in-law, Diana's brother, who he's probably 10 years younger than us. And I can remember, just like when I was at their house, maybe seeing like a Goosebumps book or just Goosebumps books. They kind of got popular just a little bit after my generation. And you guys are right around me. I graduated in 95. Yeah. Weren't you guys like 96, 97, somewhere?
Yeah, 97. Yeah.
96.
Yeah. So I was 95. So I wasn't really into all that stuff, growing up. And Opie, we were talking about, it was like we had the, a little bit more tame, scary stuff. Like what was the Nickelodeon one?
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Snake,
like that was,
remember that?
Yeah, it's like nothing kind of like I guess Goosebumps was a little bit more scary,
well,
like for kids.
And if you think about it, like we grew up with some hardcore scary stuff too. Like if we wanted to watch a scary movie, it was Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street, where I think they started just scaling back the books, I guess, for kids. Like I can remember going to the book fair. There was a series of books that were popular when I was in elementary school, but I can't remember what they were. I got one time and just never really could get into it. But yeah, I guess if you're looking at R.L. Stine, kind of paved the way for actual kids or youth reading. Scary.
When we were growing up, I mean, every scary movie had boobies in it too. So it's like some of the first, when we were young, we're probably like, 12, 13, you're like, you want to watch Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yeah, that's half the reason we would watch scary movies back in the day. Was
probably
you put in the VHS tape, and it was right after the part where you had just watched the part with the girl.
And it was only, and it only lasted for like 10 seconds. So it was That's how we did things back in the day, kids.
Something about those 70s girls, though, man. Something about them. Mm-hmm. But anyway, let's talk about Fear Street. So R.L. Stine, this is based off of his concoction here, but it wasn't. He didn't write this, right? This is just an adaptation off of the book series, right?
Yeah, I didn't even realize that Fear Street was a book series.
Yeah,
I had no idea until I was reading some user reviews on IMDb, and everybody saying, "Oh, this isn't as good as the book series," blah blah blah. I was like, "Oh, I didn't know there was."
Okay.
Yeah, you could talk a lot about this show because there's going to be 2 additional parts to it, but I like this little synopsis that I read about it earlier today, so I'll just read this. It kind of gives it it says a circle of teenage friends accidentally encounter the ancient evil responsible for a series of brutal murders that have plagued their town for over 300 years. Welcome to Shadyside. So that pretty much sums it up, because we'll learn more about what happened in the past and then in the way past in part 3. But as of this one, this is kind of like the most recent one that we'll get. And like right from the beginning, you kind of pick up they like to do their little homage, like, you know, the Scream intro, like where the girl at the mall, you could tell is just like,
Yep.
There's a lot of Scream feels from that. And I thought it was a good way to start the show. I like that. It was they shot the kid in the head, and you think he's dead, but then basically we come to find out that there is a witch that's like just terrorizing this town. These kids, the circle of kids, they accidentally like disturb the witch's remains, and then the witch comes back and kind of like brings her minions of killers from the past who they all have to try and defeat. And there's a lot going on with like the kids and their social things, like when who's dating who and all this kind of you get a little bit of all that stuff going on, and
high school rivalry, the two town rivalry,
shady side and sunny
East Dillon and West Dillon,
Sunnyvale and shady side. There's you get a little bit of that, and like the shady sides like mascots are the witches. So right there you should know that like okay, like there's some bad things going on over there, right? But that's kind of the setup for the show, and it leads right into part 2, which is out now, right? Isn't part 2?
Yeah, it came out just this past Friday. So it's interesting. It's kind of like it's kind of like a TV series where they release one episode a week, but it's movies. And so we had the first movie last Friday, second movie just 2 days ago, third movie's coming out this coming Friday.
Yep. So that's kind of like what's going on in it, and it does get a little deeper just with like, which I didn't really love, like how they come up with this plan that they have to kill the girl and then like bring her back to life so that
we've not seen that before, have we guys?
We've not think of that. The witches. Quick, what Pete's talking about is one girl in the group of friends. She actually touches the witch. Yeah, touches the witch's bones. And so the witch, like you said, sends her minions. They find out that they're going after her, not the group of them. They're going after the one friend, and they realize that, it all ends when your heart stops. There's some rhyme that goes with it, but basically, it's over when your heart stops. So like you said, she has to die, and then they got to bring her back, just like in Awake. That everybody has to be rebooted.
I just on again. Weird that we just watched that, and I was just like, okay, here we go again.
And I really hope that's not I hope that's not a movie trend where it's like, oh, okay, well, you just wait until their heart stops and then bring them back with CPR. Our friend Tim, who's a paramedic, is in the chat right now, and he could tell us if it's as easy as it sounds. Let's just drown them until their heart stops, and then give them CPR. Boom, 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 and they're alive again.
I was screaming at the TV when she was using like 5 EpiPens, or it wasn't even like the Pulp Fiction adrenaline needle or whatever. It was like an EpiPen or something that was supposed to shock her back. I was like, just freaking give her CPR.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep. Yeah. But there was a lot of good killing. There was a lot of blood in some spots. I do have queued up my favorite scene from the movie that I wanted to kind of show, since this, we're not afraid to talk about some spoilers on this. So I wanted to show this death scene. I think, I'm sure you guys have already seen it.
Real quick. So our buddy Tim, like I said, he's a paramedic. He's in the chat. He says he wouldn't recommend it. It's far from a sure thing. And I mean, that's just common sense, right? But in Awake and this movie, they were just like, oh, yeah, we'll just kill you and then just bring it back. It's fine,
It's so easy to do that,
Yeah, just so easy,
But all right, let me cue up this kill scene here. I thought this one was rather unique, and actually, let me go ahead and play this, and then I'll tell you about something that I saw after this that I thought was kind of funny.
Hopefully, it's not anything that's going to get us banned from YouTube.
Well, it's on YouTube already, so I don't think.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Which, I mean, but who knows? We'll see what happens.
Oh, this one. Oh. Oh, man.
Yeah, I kind of thought,
who left this bread slicer running? That's what I want to know.
Maybe he turned it on. You may want to stop it right here. Just.
Why? You don't think that...
No, okay. I just don't want,
Well,
I know it's on YouTube. There's weird rules about, just because it's on YouTube doesn't mean you can play it on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, so there was a bread slicer and the girl gets her head put through it. So
that was actually the bloodiest of all the kills.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought the killing was actually pretty tame until that one. And I was like, oh, they're saving the best for last, I guess. Or second to last.
The hatchet to the head I thought was pretty good too, because it was almost like it was out of nowhere. Like it kind of shocked me and surprised me, and it seemed almost real, just like the bluntness of it. Like I don't know how to describe it, but it was pretty good. I thought they did a good
job. But so Pete, you did we were talking recently, and it sounded like maybe you didn't like it though. Like overall, you didn't like the movie.
No, I don't think it was that great of a movie, and I was a little disappointed in it. But it's kind of like one of these things. Like we started watching it, and my wife got up probably about 30 minutes into it and was just like, "Yeah, I'm going to go upstairs and do this." And I'm like, "Okay." I kind of knew it wasn't really for her.
Go ahead.
Then I kind of made my way through it, and at first I liked it a lot because it was just like. But it felt almost like they were pushing, like they put so much 90s stuff in it, like music that But then I saw like a Jeep Grand Cherokee on like the street that was like way later model than like it. So it's just like kind of like.
Well, the brother, he was in an AOL chat room that did not exist in 1994. No. I know we had BBSs and stuff back then, but chat rooms like what he was in, where it showed so and so is typing and all that stuff, all that did not exist in 94. No. Maybe 97. They were kind of maybe you could find one, but
maybe.
So I didn't like it at first, but then as I was sat back down to kind of like cue all this stuff up, then I went through like a thing, like, just talking about how it's going to roll over into the next one. And I think I will like the next one because I love like that horror genre, period of horror movies is my favorite. Like the late 70s.
Yeah.
Early
movies,
early 80s. Yeah. Horror slasher movies. That's my favorite of all these. So
yeah,
I'm going to watch the second one. And then, I love like the stuff from like the old, like when we watched Unholy, like the Quakers and burning at the stake and stuff like that. I love that kind of stuff. That stuff freaks me out. It's so spooky.
Dude, we watched, remember at your house 2 or 3 years ago during SummerCon, we watched Witch, or was it Witch or The Witch?
Yeah, that was good.
And that was like one of those that you're talking about, like
old-timey. Any of that kind of stuff, like The Village. Like I know The Village wasn't really like supernatural, but you had that vibe. You didn't really know what was going on, and these people are out there. So the third one is 1666 with the 666. Ooh. So I'm going to end up watching the other two, and I bet they'll both be better than this one. I just have a feeling.
Yeah,
I didn't hate it, but it was it wasn't horror. It's one of those things. Like I watched it the first time, I was like, okay, that wasn't that good. But like as I said, I'm talking about it. I'm like, okay, it wasn't that bad. So,
it wasn't that bad, and it definitely started off a lot slower. I had a hard time even keeping my attention in the beginning because it kind of, what's going to happen. If it wasn't for the witch twist to it, it's kind of like, two schools. This is the bad school. This is the good school. Group of friends stumble upon this. This is what's happening. We got some killers on loose, but once it started twisting, like when they found the girl with the razor blade in the street after they were at the police office, I thought it was almost like a zombie theme. I was like, are they turning everybody in the town? Because I didn't know where she come from. Like we didn't get any backstory on the killers, did we? At all? Like at all?
Not in the beginning, I don't think.
Yeah. So even with the nostalgia dump of music and 90s that I love, and usually that'll keep me going in a movie, I was still like kind of just, it kind of felt forced, but I'm with you. It like that last ever since when they locked them in the school and set them on fire. And that was it kind of picked up from there, and then you had the everybody pairs off and has the love scene in the middle.
Which man, I need to know the rules with teenage love scenes because two of the girls are in a relationship. and they get into a little bit of steamy scene, and I was like, wait a minute, am I supposed to be into this? So I quick did some IMDb. The actress who played the main girl, Dina, she's almost 30. The actress who played Sam, she is like 23, like early 20s. So real world, totally okay. But is it okay as long as in real life they're of age? Because they played high school girls in this, and they were getting freaking naughty. And I'm like, is it cool to be into this? I mean, I don't know. Is Chris Hansen going to walk into my door? Oh, you've been watching Fear Street, I see. We should go downtown. So I just need to know
these Zimas.
Yeah, I got these Zimas.
And I don't want to focus on it too much because that was just like 2 minutes of the movie. But it's kind of, it's there, and it's like, wait a minute, is that okay? I mean,
the whole emphasis of the movie was the girl's love for the other girl and how she was going to do whatever shit took, and their love was forever, and she was going to bring her back no matter what, and she had to do this. I mean, that was the big part of the movie, and I mean, scene or no scene, that was the the damsel in distress kind of thing where she had to be saved. But anyway, like I said, picked up in the end. Didn't love it in the beginning. It was kind of meh, at first, but I'm if Pete watches the next one, just let me know, and we may pick that up and watch it and see if it's better, much better.
Well, I really want to watch the third one, so I think the second one I think the other two will be better. I have a feeling, but I might be wrong. Who knows?
So I thought it was I liked it pretty well. So how I'd try to rate things, like I wouldn't have loved it if I'd paid for a ticket to go see it in the theater, but for just a movie that just shows up on Netflix that you can just sit down and watch, I thought it was pretty entertaining. I was confused though. Okay, so first, like this movie, it wanted to be like it's an R.L. Stine that's horror but for younger people. Okay, that's cool. Oh, but it's also mimicking a 90s slasher movie like Scream. There had heavy Scream influences. Okay, that's pretty cool too. I'm a kid of the 90s. I watched that. This is pretty neat. Oh, but it's about a witch. Oh, but it's also about these Jason type killers that you can kill, but they don't die. Okay, so they're in it too. And then, okay, so what is this? And but they're cussing, and there's a love scene, and then all of a sudden the girl's getting sent through a bread slicer, then he takes an axe to the head. What is this? Like, what? Where does this fall in the range of like PG-13 R? I mean, I know it was rated R, but it just felt like it like ramped up from the beginning to the end. But I still thought it was fine. I actually watched the second one right before. That's why I was late getting on, because I was finishing the second one, because I didn't think we were going to, like, as a group, because Pete had said he didn't really want to. So I went ahead and watched it. I thought the second one was better, and it does help flesh out a little bit more. I mean, I won't say anything to spoil anything, but it does help flesh out the overall lore of this world, I guess. And then, and then the ending of it was pretty interesting. It's going to lead into the third one, obviously. It's an interesting choice that they're releasing them backwards, because I think you could also watch them from 1666 to 1978 to 1994. I think you could watch them in chronological order and still kind of get the same. It would be interesting to watch them both orders to see which way is the better way. It's pretty interesting, because even though the sequel is set back in the past, it still does help add to the present day 94 story.
Right.
It's just an interesting way to do it. I think these are fun. Just showing up on Netflix. I don't know if I'd go to the theater to see them, but for movies that are just there and that are going to pop up every week, they're fun. They're fun escapists. One thing real quick. So this is at the end of the thing. So at the end of it all, they pin all the murders on the boy and the girl who got killed, right?
Yeah.
But how were they supposed to have been the killers if they themselves were killed? Like, the girl got run through a bread slicer, and was he supposed to have then taken an axe to his own head? I guess the only answer to that is they didn't reveal how those kids died to the public. So the public just, maybe they just overdosed or shot themselves or whatever. But like, how were they supposed to have been the killers if they got murdered in the way that they did? There's no way you can do that to yourself. So I don't know.
Yeah, that was really weird, like them pinning it on them. But I do agree with you. Like they did a good job at the end of this one, kind of setting up, like with the girl calling back on the phone and kind of like setting up, that she was a camper from the 70s. I like that, and it kind of made me interested in kind of seeing. And I mean, the trailer for the second one looks really good. Yeah. I love like the. Sometimes a killer, all he needs is like a burlap sack on his head. Yeah, that's spooky.
It's AF. Like a scarecrow guy.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be anything super crazy because that dude.
Yeah, so one thing I'll say about it is, in the first movie, it's all about the witch, and she also has these what's called them henchmen. She's got the guy with the axe, and she's got the girl who sings, and I think there's maybe another one. I can't quite remember. She's got these like henchmen. Yeah, she's got these like henchmen killers. Let's just call them that. Well, we see where one of them sort of comes from in the second movie, which sort of helps understand, that's why they're there. That's why they're doing what they're doing. And that's how they got entrapped by the witch and all that. So it helps a little bit. And it does a good job of continuing the story.
Nice.
Okay. Well, guys, since we wrapped that up, like Matt said, we kind of talked about maybe the pick for this week was going to be the next one, but I was like, yeah, man, we don't know if we're all going to like it or not. So I decided to kind of go a totally different direction. And honestly, I had a couple of movies picked out, and I was kind of thinking, let's change it up a bit this week, or let's go.
Pony.
No, not hardly. But anyway, I was actually looking at like vintage old like 80s movies that were kind of cult movies that I know none of us have saw and that had come across, because I dabble looking at VHS, and I have a lot of VHS social media stuff, and I see movies with like popular and I don't want to explain all this to you because I'm not going to pick one of those movies this week. I'm going to pick something else that I thought I wanted to watch. But even like movies you've never heard of with like A-list actors in them, I'd like to watch sometime. So if you guys are into that, so maybe we'll talk about it and we'll watch it. We'll do one of those next week. But this week, I was actually watching a YouTube video of a guy talking about video games, and he mentioned this movie came on Netflix this year based off of a video game, and I had no idea it came on Netflix. And I looked it up, and lo and behold, we've got a movie based on a video game in Netflix. Hopefully you guys haven't seen it. Dynasty Warriors.
Oof.
You guys seen it?
No, it's new to Netflix, I think.
New to Netflix, Dynasty Warriors. Now, it is a dub. So I guess it was filmed in, it was China, but it's a martial arts movie over the famed video game series Dynasty Warriors. If you play video games, Dynasty Warriors is a popular franchise. They even spun it off to Gundam Mechs and Dynasty Warriors, but basically you're just a single warrior taking on loads and loads and hordes of enemies. The genre is kind of a hack and slash where you just maul your buttons and do special moves and take on waves of enemies and big bosses. So let's watch the trailer. I haven't even watched the trailer. I just watched a little bit of the movie.
You haven't even seen the trailer? I've seen the trailer
to see. Okay. There it goes.
蒼天已死，黃天當立，雖在甲子，天下大家。如果冇亂世，又何來英雄？寧教我負天下人，莫教天下人負我。我哋兄弟心，不求同生，但求同死。
以後丟善條命就去將軍嘅。
来接斩杀，兵阵。
That looks like Dynasty Warriors, the games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
killing like 20 dudes in one blow. Yeah. Look at that.
That's exactly the game. The games.
Okay, I guess you can stop it. That's pretty much probably going to show every battle.
The CG looks good.
So yeah, we'll try that out. I was kind of jonesing from some martial arts movie, and I saw this. I was like, I'm going to pick that. Screw Matt. I don't care.
I don't like the Dynasty Warrior games at all. I just, you just run into a big sea of enemies and just mash X, and that's it. I mean, I think they're boring and not fun. But let's see if maybe the movie's better than the game. Maybe we're gonna get a video game movie that's better than the game. Who knows? I shouldn't say that. There's a lot of fans of the Dynasty Warrior games, but
I thoroughly enjoy. Like, listen, if you're a fan of Gundam and you want a fun, just a dumb, like I said, effortless game that puts you in that genre, like to the T with pilots and everything, Dynasty Warriors Gundam. We play. I wish I still had all of those. We traded them in the GameStop when Gavin was little, but we played all of those, and I really, really liked them. But it's the same. It's the same thing. You run into a bunch of Zaku's and just do your special moves and blow the whole room up, and you keep going. So, but it's really cool that you can play just about every single mobile suit in that. But anyway, yeah, I thought that was cool, and it was actually. Matt Tendo's a big fan of Dynasty Warriors, and he was collecting all the games. And his latest video, he finds a Dynasty Warrior game at a thrift shop, and he goes, "There's a new Dynasty Warriors movie on Netflix. Don't tell me about it because I got to watch it." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "There's a Dynasty Warriors movie." So,
so real quick, I love that you said, this week I'm going to go in a different direction. I love 80s movies and VHS. So anyway, let's watch this 2021 Netflix movie.
Listen. I was trying to think outside the box.
I thought we were going to get RoboCop or Police Academy or something.
Yeah.
Or The Burbs.
Well, you guys have seen all those movies. It's harder.
Yeah. We can always rewatch them and talk about them.
It's harder with older movies because I don't know.
I was aware of that Dynasty Warriors movie and had not planned on ever watching it, but I'll watch it just for you.
There you go. Shut up. So let's go to a movie that you and I have already watched.
That's right.
And let's talk about the return of the MCU to the big screen. And, it was it hit the theaters. It was also on Disney Plus Premium Edition.
With Premier Access, yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting for all of our streaming services to have that extra tier just to start, we're going to stream it, but no, you're going to pay a little bit more. Yeah, of course, you guys said all that's ending pretty soon when stuff.
Well, it is. The HBO Max stuff is only through this year. The day and date release on HBO Max, so that's not forever.
Right.
And just real quick, we're not going to spoil Black Widow because it just came out, and because it is a theatrical thing, we know that not everybody ran out and watched it like we did. So no spoilers for Black Widow on this.
Okay. Matt, you want to start us off? Just talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, so just a little background. This takes place between Captain America: Civil War and Avengers: Infinity War. So it is not the latest one in the chronology of the MCU. It's because obviously spoilers for Endgame, which came out 2 years ago, but Black Widow died in that one. So this is how we're able to get a movie now, because it takes place before all that. But we get a little bit more of her backstory. She has to go to Budapest she wants to take down the Red Room, which is basically where she grew up, which, that's not a unique. I don't know if the Red Room is a real thing or not, but it's not unique to Black Widow or Marvel. There's other movies about it. There's other stories about Russian operatives, being trained from when they were kids in the Red Room, and they're just assassins. And so we get a little bit more of her backstory growing up like that. We meet another character named Yelena. I can't pronounce her last name, but she is, for all intents and purposes, she is Black Widow's sister, but not really sister. But she grew up in the Red Room as well. We meet Alexei. I don't remember his last name either, but he used to be a Captain America type character in the Soviet Union called the Red Guardian, and then Milena, I think, was another one. So we meet we meet more of Black Widow supporting cast, which do exist in the comics. They're not really that, they're not that huge in recognition. But yeah, she goes back and she wants to take down the Red Room, and she has to call on her, her family, air quotes, to help her, and hilarity ensues. Hijinks commence. I liked it. I didn't think it was the best MCU movie. It certainly wasn't the worst. This is the 24th MCU movie. I thought this one was somewhere right in the middle, which is great. I mean, with the exception of Iron Man 3, even the least good Marvel movie is still really good to me. So yeah, there was a lot of action. I thought it had a really strong first act. It had a really nice third act. Nice, action-packed finale. I thought it slowed down a little bit in the middle, but that's okay. They have to establish the backstory and all this stuff. So, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it pretty well. Okay, what do you think?
Yeah, I thought it was okay. Not being a MCU super fan, I like a lot of the MCU movies, and I like comic book movies. But this is actually not, one of the characters I'm familiar with or grew up with. One of the A-list characters. Maybe she is in Marvel world, but I was reading some stuff on it. I kind of wanted a little bit more out of the other. I wanted more Red Guardian, I guess. I wanted a little bit more of that. I kind of thought that the villains were kind of disappointing, a little bit. And I kind of was reading a little bit online. I don't know, how is it getting blasted online, Matt? I mean, do you know? Is it?
It seems middle of the road. It seems like everybody either really liked it or the hater channels hate it, but a lot of people liked it. So
I'm hearing that if it was released like where it should have been released, like in the first place, like kind of after Civil War, that it would have been a little better, maybe.
Received. So this was originally slated to come out like March or May I think May 2020 was when it, because this wasn't even filmed until after Endgame. So I mean, there was no chance this had come out before all that. It was supposed to come out in May 2020, and because of COVID kept getting pushed back and back and back and back until finally it came out this weekend. But I was going to say that I actually do wish that this, just like Captain America got 3 of his own movies and Thor got 3, especially the first 2 Captain Americas, the first 2 Thors, the first 2 Iron Man, everything that was like pre-Avengers, that didn't rely a lot on Avengers, like they just had their own stories and that was it. I wish that this had come out earlier in the timeline of the Marvel movies, because I would have loved for this just to have been her story instead of her story after she died in Endgame. I would have loved for this just to been, there's a Captain America movie about his adventures and a Thor movie about his adventures and a Black Widow movie about her adventures. Yeah, I wish it would have been cool for this to have come out earlier in the timeline.
Yep. But overall, it was good. I think I'm going to watch it again, just to give it another chance when I've seen it. But how did you feel about the Taskmaster?
So I really like the Taskmaster. He's sort of he's not an A-list villain. He's probably B-list. A lot of people love him, but he's not the most well-known character. I think he's cool because he can mimic any fighting style that he sees. He can't mimic superpowers. He can't go fly or shoot lasers out of his eyes. Right. But he can watch Captain America throw his shield and then throw the shield as good as Captain America. He can watch Hawkeye shoot arrows and be as skilled as that, or he can watch Black Panther. He can watch Black Widow and fight. I think it's like eidetic reflexes. He can he can just mimic any fighting style that he sees, which makes him a formidable opponent. He's a mercenary for hire in the comics. He's a smartass, not as much as Deadpool is. Maybe more like Spider-Man, maybe a little bit more than Spider-Man. He's always like running off at the mouth, and this movie did. No spoilers. This movie took some liberties with Taskmaster that I didn't love. It did make sense within the context of the movie, but
Okay.
I wish we had gotten more Taskmaster, because I've always really liked the character of Taskmaster, and they could have done it differently. They could have made it to where he was well, I won't say anything, but
okay.
It was fine, but I wish it had been a little bit better.
Yeah, I didn't really think that it was. I mean, of course he could do. It kind of showed him mimicking, and it kind of showed him fighting like Black Widow. But I mean, overwhelmingly, it was kind of average as far as like MCU villains in MCU villain movies, and that's one thing that I've always heard. If you've got a great villain in a character, you can always have a great movie, because that's what that's what's there. That's what you're rooting against a lot of times.
Yeah.
So, but the main guy who controlled the Black Widows, I mean, he was just he wasn't very nice.
No, and Taskmaster isn't the kind of villain to be the main villain in a movie. He's never been like the criminal mastermind like Green Goblin or Red Skull, or he's always been the mercenary, the guy, the muscle. He's always been the one that carries out the orders of the head guy. So his role in this movie worked, but the other liberties I didn't. And a big part of this is Yelena Belova. So she was the the other Florence Pugh's character, the sister character. There's been a lot of chatter about her taking over as the Black Widow in the future movies. I don't know if that's going to happen. I liked her very much. She had a nice sense of humor, very dry sense of humor, which I thought was pretty fun. She had some good lines in it. I wouldn't mind seeing her again. I do know that she is going to show up again. I won't say what, because I don't want to spoil anything, but she will show up again in at least one other property. But yeah, I hope that she comes around more. They're working on building her up in the comics now too. So I don't know if, I don't know. I mean, I can't see them getting rid of Natasha in the comics, but I don't know if Yelena is going to be the Black Widow forever for the rest of the time in the MCU or not, but she will show up at least one more time.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, yeah, if it's out there in theaters right now. And if you have the premiere package on Disney Plus, you can watch it streaming. And we'll move on down the pipe. We're going to talk about a little Android game or iOS game called Retro Bowl. Pete, you told us about this a couple weeks ago. Now we're finally talking about it. You've had a chance to play it. How is it? Talk to us.
That is correct, Opie. I have been playing a game called Retro Bowl on my iPad. So it's available on iOS and Android. If you're anywhere around our age, right?
Yep.
You would probably have played a very similar game to this. So this is a game that's supposed to mimic the 8-bit games that we grew up with, like on the NES, which was like Tecmo Bowl and Tecmo Super Bowl. Those games, I mean, everybody who was around my age growing up, that was like one of the games that everybody had for their NES. Any guy that was into sports games back then, it was like one of the first ones that were actually really good. Like
I'm looking at it now too. This is
some of the sports games early on were horrible, especially like on the Atari, like just baseball and stuff on Atari were just not fun games.
And the not to interrupt you, but one of the first NES games was we actually had it. My dad bought it. It was 10-Yard Fight.
Oh yeah,
and it was not good as far as compared to like when Tecmo Bowl came out.
So we got Tecmo Bowl, and it came in and it introduced us to like, oh, like these are licensed teams. Like we got like real things going on here, and like the gameplay was fast and easy. Everybody knows the story about Bo Jackson being in Tecmo Bowl, and there's how like unstoppable. Well, so anyway, fast forward, these guys have made a game to mimic Tecmo Bowl and Tecmo Super Bowl, and it's called Retro Bowl. And it's free, but you can pay for the 99-cent version, I think, and it gives you the ability to rename your players. Like they have like the, just say like Dallas, or because this isn't like a game that is You know, I don't think it's like any sort of license. You know, they just say like Dallas and Cincinnati and Buffalo, you know, I mean, things like that. But what they let me just show you a little clip of it, and then I'll kind of talk over it here because it's easier for me to just show it. And so anyway, the way that I found this, you know how just sometimes on the miracle of YouTube suggested videos, I see like a guy who's like playing a game. I'm like, oh, this guy's playing Tecmo Bowl. Like he's got like maybe like a season going on or something, you know? But no, he's playing Retro Bowl, but he like created like his team, and he's like playing through a season, and he like plays it like live streams it, and then like puts out these YouTube videos, and he's, you know, a pretty funny guy. And so let me just show you kind of like what's going on here, because I think it's pretty interesting. I won't play the audio, but this is what this guy does. I mean, you can see it looks just like a Tecmo Super Bowl style game. So you run like the thing is like you're using like touch controls, you know, on your device. But like when you hike the ball, the run, and you like choose a run play, the running back is automatically running, but you can like swipe up and down on the screen, and he'll like kind of juke left and to the right, and like see how, and like there's like a little stiff arm thing. So like this guy, he goes like through a whole playthrough of like a season, and see how like you use your finger and like draw out. I don't know if you picked that up. Like see like there's the play, like the play art looks just like the old Tecmo Super Bowl and Tecmo Bowl, you know. But see how he draws that path that the ball is going to fly. You draw that out with your finger, and then let go, and it throws it there. And then see how he's just running down through there. But see, he's renamed his guy. So has Amari Cooper, who's like, you know, a real football player. But they just give you like generic names to start out with. So he has Dak Prescott.
That's Prescott.
But you can kind of see here just like the style of the gameplay. It's a lot like, you know, the games that we grew up with. But the really cool thing, let me see if I can get to the part where is kind of like the coaching stuff. So like once you finish a game, games only take like, you know, 7-10 minutes. You know, you don't play defense. That's the one big thing about it. But like, so here, like, look at this. So like you have interviews after the game, and like, you know, you can praise the player, or and you get a boost, or you can praise the entire team. Like the morale goes up. So there's all kinds of little details in the game that you have to make a decision on as the coach. And like they have like their conditioning like will go down. They can get hurt. You can get job offers. You can have assistant coaches leave. You have a salary cap. You have fan percentage, like their happiness.
Dang, that's pretty deep for just
a
touch football game, you know?
Yeah, just a touch football game. And there's all kinds of stuff like in the roster there, you know, if guys get mad, they'll leave. Let's see what else. Yeah, there's a draft. So like you have to scout players from college.
Nice.
So like, yeah, like so all these guys, this is the draft, and it showed they're graded on like a star system, just like, you know, how football is, you know. So like 5 stars the best, but like the rookies, like the top rookies might come in like around like 3.5. Then they'll show like how much they're expected to get paid, and you have to keep your salary cap underneath that, you know, if you want to sign them. So it's just a kind of in-depth, fun football game. And I played through, like you start out, you just get selected by a team, like a random team. And like I got the Denver Broncos. And like if you play through like the kind of story, you start out with like a really bad team. They're like halfway through the season and their coach gets fired. So you get the job. And then you have to try and like bring them up. And then at the end of the first season, you can get offers from other teams, you know, like it's just kind of like you're building your resume, like you're building the team's resume, and you're having to take care of all these players and keep them happy. And there's a front office and fans. There's just a lot going on. It's free
for a free game.
A free game. If you want to pay 99 cents, I think is what it is, or maybe $1.99, you can get the paid version. I think, and it just unlocks little things like cosmetic stuff. You know, I think you can change colors and make your own teams, something like that. But it's a good game worth checking out. It's, you know, if you're into sports games and you want to be able to play it on your phone, it's easy. You can play a game in like 5 minutes. One Saturday morning I woke up and I just started laying on the couch, like watching Sports Center, and I look up and I've played like 9 games and I've been on it for like an hour, hour and a half. I'm like, holy cow. Cause like the stuff you do in between the games, you'll spend more time doing that than you will actually playing the game. You know what I mean? Like you're doing like all the front office moves.
Yep.
Trading guys, getting your salary cap down, your draft, you can trade draft picks, you can acquire draft picks, all kinds of stuff. So it's fun.
I remember going from Tecmo Bowl to Super Tecmo Bowl, and the fact that Super Tecmo Bowl kept your year stats, like showed how much you were rushing for. That was just a game changer. Like I could not believe how awesome that was to play through a season and then see your stats at the end of every game. That was so cool. But yeah. So awesome. I've already downloaded it. It's on my phone, but I'm going to definitely get it for my iPad because it looks like it'd be really sweet to play.
This is something really cool too that I thought that they did. So see, like this guy, this tight end, he's a rookie, 21, and it showed like you can scout him. You get like scout points. You can scout him, and it'll show what his max potential is for each category. So like catching, he's like just like a couple ticks here, but his potential is to be about double that. But this guy's going to be a really strong. Like when you scout him, you don't see all this black here.
Yeah, you got to fill it in with hard work and perseverance.
Right. So then, like you see, if you want a guy who's a really good a catching tight end, like this guy is more of a blocking tight end. But you see, like he just has a little bit of catching here. Well, then if you scout him, the catching could be potentially like way out there. Then you're like, okay, like this is a rookie that I want to sign because I can put some points into him and really get his catching up. This guy wouldn't be a real good catching tight end,
right?
Even maxed out, because that's as far as he could go after you scout him for catching. So it's just little things like that. There's just a lot going on, and it's fun. So I would recommend it. I've been really happy with it.
Very, very, very nice. Love that.
That's awesome. And it's and that's, I don't know that I'll play. It's not really my thing, but that if it were, I could easily see me paying 99 cents or $1.99 or whatever for the paid version just to get, just to support the developer who made a kick-ass deep game, and also to support. Wait, did I say support the developer? Yeah, that's what I say.
Yep. Yeah, and they actually came out after this. They came out with Retro Goal, which is a similar game but soccer.
Yep, we're gonna try that too. There was like, I'm going to ask Gavin if he's heard that, because there's all kinds of cool little soccer mini games, mobile games. There was one called Soccer Physics, which it had 2 like little avatars in a goal behind them on each side. Oh my gosh,
dude! Peyton played that so much,
and it's almost like the dummy action. Like you have one button just makes them head the ball. Like that's all you do, and the ball just kind of goes back and forth, and it's just it's so simple, but they got so crazy about that game.
Yeah, I remember when we went to DC and like they were having like tournaments and stuff on the bus. Like, it was like a 8-hour bus ride, and they're playing Soccer Physics, which they got access to all these cool games, and they're playing one that looks like like Roblox or something. Like
it was cool.
But yeah.
So anyway, James, cue up the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music, because it's time for Video Game 20 Questions. This episode this week, we're going to try another edition where James asks us, or he's got a game.
I have a game
in mind, written down in the vault.
I do.
Where we, as in me and Matt, alternate questions back and forth. And we each get 10 questions each, 20 questions in all, and we have to eliminate different facts about this game and try to figure out what game it is. Last week I won. I took the title. I guessed it. It was GoldenEye for the Nintendo 64.
That's correct.
So whenever you're ready,
I'm not going to set this game up anyhow. I'm not going to give you any sort of clues. I do have some clues that I could give out later on if it gets a little too difficult. I'll preface this the same way I did last time. This is just a well-received game that this isn't some crazy game that only came out through Burger King ad, in 1999. This is a well-received video game that everybody pretty much knows that plays video games.
Okay.
So with that, you start it off. You get 20 questions. 20 questions and a guess.
Whoever
wants to lead off.
I don't remember.
I'll try and keep track of the questions asked.
You can go first.
Okay, I'll go first. Is it a cartridge-based game?
Is this a cartridge-based game? No.
Okay. Is it a sports title?
No.
Let's see. Is it an RPG?
No.
Okay.
Is this game single player or multiplayer?
Well, it has to be yes or no, right?
Oh.
So I would just say yes or no. You have to add. Well, if you ask one, then you know they're the other one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you say, is this a multiplayer game? Then if I say,
is this game a multiplayer game?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I'm making notes. Is it a first-person shooter?
No.
Is this game?
Hold on a sec. That's 5 questions. So I'll just every 5 I'll go and give a rundown. It's not cartridge based. It's not a sports game. It's not RPG. It does have multiplayer capabilities, and it's not a first-person shooter. All right, question 6.
I had my question, and then you interrupted me, and I forgot it. Is it? Hold on, I'll think about it in just a second. Dang it! I had a really good question, and it totally left me what I was going to say. I hate it when that happens. Dang it! Yes or no? Is it? Oh, is it a console exclusive when it was released?
Yes.
Okay, console exclusive. Was it on the Xbox series of console, the Microsoft side of that coin?
No.
Okay.
And we will open up to the chat if the chat wants to throw in a question. I'll take it. I'll take a chat question. Go ahead, Opie.
Okay, so it's an exclusive, it's disc-based, it's multiplayer, not an RPG, not a sports game. So we pretty much, I'm thinking out loud here. Is it a, I mean, I know the answer probably because all the things, but is it a Sony PlayStation family game?
What do you mean by family game?
Like exclusive to the Sony's PlayStation franchise?
At the time of release, yes.
The time of release, yes, which makes me think it. Okay. Is it okay? Is it primarily known for being a multiplayer game, or is it just that sure there's a multiplayer? Well, that has to be yes or no. Is it primarily a multiplayer game? Is it known for being a multiplayer game?
I would say yes. Opie, would you like to go? I think we might have a question from the comment section.
My bad, I was muted. Yep.
Ryan Powell asks, did they make a sequel to this game? They sure did, Ryan. And quite a few. I'll give you that clue.
And quite a few.
What's throwing me off is it's not an FPS, but it's primarily a multiplayer game,
but it's not an RPG.
On the Sony side of the house.
Whose turn is it?
Mine.
Opie's.
All right, go ahead, Opster.
Was it released on the PlayStation 2?
Is there a version released on the PlayStation 2? Yes. Is the family of games, does it have an iteration on the PlayStation 2? Yes.
Okay.
That's 10 questions.
There's another question in the chat.
Okay. J-Dub coming through with possibly the best question of the day. Yes, J-Dub, it is a vehicle driving based game.
I would like to make a guess.
I want to make
Hold
a
on.
guess. It's Matt's turn.
Whose turn is it, Matt's?
My turn, yeah.
Okay, Matt, you want to make a guess, or do you want to? Okay, go ahead.
I want to. Is it Twisted Metal?
It is Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
Yay!
Good job.
Awesome. Thanks, J-Dub. I was struggling to think, and then you said driving based game. I was like, oh,
You know
that's
what?
a multiplayer game.
Yes, as much Twisted Metal 2 as I played in college, that didn't even come to mind. I was going to say Gran Turismo.
Ooh.
Well, that came out on PlayStation 2, didn't it?
Yeah, and it wasn't really.
It was released on
You
PlayStation
could-
2. Ryan said he did. Ryan, was that what you're going to guess? Were you going to guess Twisted Metal? J-Dub is claiming that win. That was a good one. You know, yeah, so this Twisted Metal, just doing a little research on it, holy smokes, sold a ton of copies through all of them. PlayStation 2, it made it all the way up to PlayStation 3. It was on the PSP, even was sent over to Windows.
Yeah.
For first release in 1995.
Yep.
On the PlayStation.
I can't believe there hasn't been a new Twisted Metal game.
I know. I can't believe they've not rebooted. Like Twisted Metal 2, we played when I first got to college, was awesome. We played all the time.
How do you not make especially with this, like battle royale games and stuff today? How do you not make a new Twisted Metal around all of that, just with cars and stuff?
Listen to this. February 2012, Sony Pictures had signed some guy that I don't know, coder Brian Taylor, to direct a Twisted Metal movie, live action movie. But then 2 years later, it was confirmed that it had been canned. So
it probably would have been terrible.
I would like to have Twisted Metal 2 remastered. Twisted Metal Black wasn't that great. Twisted Metal 1 was okay, and then they had they went on down. I've got one of the rarer ones, like a mini game, Twisted Metal minis, like where your little cars in like a sandbox or kids play. You know, I forget what that's called. It was horrible. It was bad. But yeah,
good job, guys. That was a good one.
Yeah,
great game. Good questions, J-Dub. I mean, you guys. I was a little worried because the whole multiplayer thing. You almost instantly think kind of like online capability in multiplayer. You know, like you don't really think just like sitting side by side like we used to split screen, because that's all we did back then.
Screen.
You know? It was like split screen machines. And that game, like me and my friends, that's all we would play. Like multiplayer, we wouldn't just try and play through the campaign and like beat all the guys. You know, we were always playing against each other. Like that was just like how we always did it.
Yep.
So good job.
Very well done. Well done, sir.
All right, Matt, let's go on. Let's see what pickups you got this week, and let's close this thing out.
Well, wait, do you have any pickups?
I do have pickups.
You may want to go first.
Okay, I'll go first.
Yeah, you should go first.
So, I think I've been chatting with you guys over the holiday weekend, July 4th holiday weekend. My mother, she's moved into a different apartment, and we kind of helped her move a little bit. And of course, you know, when you go into moving, you go through stuff, you organize stuff, you put stuff in boxes, and you come across stuff you hadn't seen in a long time.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so she gave me a few things that she had saved that she had saved, I guess, for me, but she's got more stuff. I'm going to just show you some stuff, and I was really super pumped about a couple of these items because I had no idea that she had kept these, but they're really cool. But this first one, I'm just going to show you. I'm not super pumped about these. These are some McDonald's toys that they kept over time.
McDonald's toys used to be awesome.
Yeah,
now they're
my favorite McDonald's toy of all time were when they did Stompers. They did.
Oh my gosh, I had one.
They had those little Stompers, and they also put Hot Wheels, I think, in McDonald's one time. But these are the Muppet Baby.
Yeah, I had that Kermit. Shut up! I had that exact one with the skate.
I don't know how. I used to have them all.
Oh my gosh, I had that. Oh, I forgot all about.
I've got 3 of them in here. I'm not really. I was kind of glad to see these, but I'm not super excited about it. And the other ones, and this is one that you guys have probably not seen in a while, but. Dun, 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 dun,
Fraggles?
dun, 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 dun. Yeah, Fraggle Rock.
Oh, nice. Hey, Pete, can you do the thing where you make Opie big and us small on the side?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
There's Fraggle Rock there.
There you go.
And here's these 2 guys. I didn't have the main.
I never had any Fraggle Rocks.
Yeah.
I remember.
You know, these are old, but they're not really worth that much. I looked it up. And then I'm just not going to get all these out, but then I got a bunch of Smurfs.
Okay, I had some of those too. Yeah,
McDonald's toys. I mean, various. I mean, I've got 2 other brothers, and honestly, she just, she kind of throws the stuff. But it's just
you just won't find anything like that in a Happy Meal nowadays. They used to just have the coolest stuff.
Right. So next up are some. Everybody remembers the read along books, right? Then we kind of talk about books or whatever. But I totally forgot that I had these. But she gave me. Let me find these first ones. Gremlins read along storybooks that we've had when we were younger. These also came with the record, but I have no idea.
Little 45.
I used to love those
45s.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it tells a little story. It basically goes along with the movie. Just basic arcs in the movie. There's the part where they're in the theater. You know, that sort of thing.
I've got some He-Man and some Batman ones like that. Little storybooks with the record in the back.
Yeah, there's that one. But these are the Gremlins ones, and I can't believe that she kept
I
remember
awesome.
looking at these. Yeah, none of these. But no, Matt, you kind of spoiled it because I was super, super pumped because she did have my Masters of the Universe ones.
Oh, shut up!
And at first they didn't have the 45s, but I got back over here and I had the 45s.
Oh my gosh! So you're able to put them back together.
I got them all.
Have you played them?
Not yet, but I remember I played these when I was younger.
Look at that.
That
Those
one.
look like they're in good shape too.
Yeah, they're actually not bad.
Dude, I've got that one. I think it might be. I've got some. Hold on, where are you showing us? Now
Let's see. I got the record in that one too.
Nice.
And I was so excited, and I was like kind of geeking out on the couch, and my daughter's like, "Why are you so happy that you found these?" And I was like, "You don't understand."
Because they're the coolest things ever.
This one's actually
it's like a coloring book.
Like a coloring book,
bro.
Yep. There it is.
Wow. Hold on a sec. Let me grab mine.
But yeah, that one was really cool.
Dude, I got like superpowers and
Yeah.
Batman and Revenge of Skeletor.
Yep.
See, I've got to He-Man. Oh, shut up, dude! What? I got that one too.
But yeah, that's awesome. So I was
what about
so
these,
happy.
Opie?
See, I think I had some of those too. Those are so. Did you get your mom give you those? Did she keep those?
She kept them. They've been here for a long time. I found them.
Those are awesome.
When I was cleaning out that room. Yeah.
And the last but not least, I picked this up at Walmart because it was on there. I got a new album. I had to pick up my Machine Gun Kelly album.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I picked it up.
I like that album.
Pink.
Ooh, I like the pink vinyl.
Yeah, so I decided to pick that up at Walmart, and because I like that album, and I like supporting Travis Barker. So yeah, that's it. And my big ups. I was super happy, super duper duper happy.
Oh my gosh, I want to. I need a record player now to play these.
And if you're not a part of our Discord, let us know. I posted some like those vintage pictures of me at my early birthday parties. I love looking at that stuff. There's more to that to come. I can't wait to get where she gets out all those pictures. And my mom actually, I didn't know if you guys knew this, but she always kept the negatives. Even though she would put pictures wherever she put pictures, we always had the negatives. Did you know that they make scanners you can hook to your PC that rescans in negatives and develops the picture into a digital picture?
That's cool.
You just put the negatives in. You know what I'm talking about. When you would go get pictures developed, they would throw the negatives back into your whole thing there. So I always thought that was cool.
Okay,
Matt's turn.
You're up, Matt.
All right. So I'll try to go. I actually have a few, so I'll try to go through. And I guess I'll get them in order of. I'll show them in order of how I got them. On Amazon the other day, this was on a couple of dollars off. I got the old Peter Parker Spider-Man from the retro Spider-Man line.
I haven't seen that.
Well, but I actually already have him, but I always wanted to get a second one because I've always loved the depiction of the half-faced Spider-Man. They do that in the comics to show that his spider sense is going off.
Yeah.
So I always wanted a second one so that I could open this one and put his half spider face on. So I'm going to do that. The other one is, so I have the other one like down in a pile down there somewhere.
Nerd.
And then, I had to go ahead and get the Battle Cat.
Oh, from Amazon, you son of a gun.
Yeah, this isn't in scale with the little guys. This is more like action figure size.
Battle Cat statue. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got a little thing you can display them on. I thought since I got all the other Mega Blocks He-Man, I might as well.
I'm hoping that'll show up at the stores. I'm hoping that's not like online.
Yeah, I don't know. And then so I got
Did you get that
on the?
Oh yeah.
Huh?
You got that at Amazon today? Oh, there it is.
Yeah. So I got the, thanks to Opie. I didn't even know this existed. I actually went to Walmart today. They had the Lego. This is the classic Batmobile from the 60s, from the 1966 show. So
cool. Yeah,
I thought that was pretty cool. Classic Batman and Joker. And then while I was there, I've never seen any of these in stores. I actually got,
J-Dub.
the Daredevil and Elektra, the retro, the 3 3/4 inch retro Marvel Legends line.
Those are cool.
I've never seen either one. I was prepared to order these online from Big Bad Toy Store, and these were the only two they had, and they were hanging right next to each other. So I had to
go every day. Gotta go every day.
Gotta go every day. Just that's what I do. And then I got this for my son because I just thought it would be a cool surprise. This is a McFarlane Toys Deku from My Hero Academia.
Ooh,
I got him a All Might for Christmas, so now he'll have Deku to stand next to him. I just wanted to get it for him. I just want to spoil him a little bit because he's an awesome kid. So he'll be surprised when he comes over tomorrow. And
he's got to wonder sometimes why Daddy gets more toys than he does.
Right. Let's see. Oh, and then let's see. That was at Walmart, but then I went to Target because you got to go every day, and I actually found Magneto.
Yeah,
3 3/4 inch Marvel Legends and another Daredevil. So now I've got one to open because I always wanted to get two of each one of these.
One to keep and one just in case.
Because the packaging is so cool.
It is.
So
the cards are cool.
Yeah, so I was happy to find.
And I like seeing those cards so crispy too. Those are crispy cards.
Yeah, they look pretty good. And then I got a little something for Opie's Fun Box, the sequel.
Son of a gun.
I got you, Panther. He's not flocked.
No,
so he's. But
what does that mean?
The fuzzy, flocked, fuzzy.
Ah.
Yeah, so he's just like hard plastic. But that's going to go in your Fun Box, the sequel. And then while I'm sticking that in there, I might as well ram this in there too.
That's so awesome.
Keldor and the Origins.
See, I don't have a Target. And J-Dub always throws Target stuff up in my face.
Are these exclusive to Target?
Absolutely. Yes.
Really?
Yep. That one is. Now Panther's not.
Okay.
But that is absolutely exclusive to Target.
Now, in regards to the He-Man figures, they still only had He-Man and Skeletor.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But they had like 3 of these. And then they had like 3 of the Panthers and several of the Battle Cats.
Yeah,
I've never seen these before, ever.
That set right there, people were camping out in Target.
Really? I should have bought all of them then.
Yeah. And they've slowly started just that 2-pack. Like no one else sees any of the other waves on the pegs except unless you're in Canada. And that one people seem to be slowly trickling in and getting those. I'm hearing good things about the Revelations lines too. I'm hearing that those are going to be pretty good, easy.
Dude, I didn't see any of those anywhere. But hopefully they. Although I think I'm going to pass on that line. I don't think I need it, but they look cool. But I don't think I need them.
Right. You'll watch the series. It'll be so awesome. You'll just have to have it.
I hope not. No. I hope the series is good. I hope it doesn't make me want the toys.
Right.
And then last but I got one more little thing here. Oh my gosh!
Oh,
finally,
bad.
Got the old Xbox Series X. I was able to nab one on Walmart.com, which was super cool because I had $50 worth of gift cards for there as well, so that paid for the tax. And it showed up yesterday. It said it would be shipped and delivered by the 24th, and it showed up yesterday. So yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. You got it so early.
Yeah. So I don't have to hunt anymore. That was a nightmare. Yeah.
You gotta look
that's awesome, man. You haven't even opened it up yet?
No, I haven't hooked it up yet. It just came yesterday, and I spent most of yesterday trying to clean out this room back here, and today I was out for a while. So
I heard you're not supposed to vape and blow smoke into the back of them.
I don't think I have a problem not doing that.
Did you ever see that where people said they were catching on fire?
Oh yeah, they were. Oh, I was smoking. Yeah. No, you're just blowing smoke into it. Don't be stupid. Yeah. So that's all the cool pickups.
Cool,
when you just. It's like I said, you got to go every day. That's why they say you got to go once every 3 months. So that's what I do, and that's when I find the stuff.
I go every day, every other day, and I get Jack. I see Jack.
Dude, I mean. You should have seen Walmart and Target. Like they still were just devoid of most anything. Those I sent you pictures of the 3 Star Wars figures, Leia and the Ewok and Akbar. Those were the only 3 Star Wars figures at all.
Well, that's like that Iron Man I sent you the picture of. He was the only one hanging there on the peg.
Yeah, they had that Iron Man, and it was the only one. And I think maybe a couple Shang-Chi figures. That was it. Those 3 3/4 inch, those 2 that I got from both places, those were the only 2 at either place. I mean, I feel like I just lucked out, but it's still a wasteland through there. No, I was looking for G.I. Joe for Dan. I didn't even see a place for G.I. Joe.
Well, they still had like 4 fangs at my Walmart.
Jeez, I didn't see any.
It's so weird how different places are void of anything, and then different. I don't understand, but
just empty pegs everywhere in both places.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I was going to tell you, if you were in Target, did you go back to electronics and check out the Mecha?
Oh shoot, I usually do, but I forgot to do it today. But there's never anything back there. Literally, right. I mean, they have like a bunch of like Godzilla, NECA stuff, and Funko Pops, but I don't think I've hardly ever seen the Ninja.
J-Dub might be able to answer this question because he's a pop guy. I was in Hobby Lobby returning some stuff and went back, and they have a really great model section, paint. They've got Gunpla, they've got car models, they've got World War II models. They have Funko Pops there, and I didn't know if there was anything that Hobby Lobby that just came out in Hobby Lobby or anything exclusive to look for as far as Funko Pops, but they had Pokemon models and things like that. So I don't think a lot of people would think to look at Hobby Lobby for like toys or Funko Pops. So maybe there was a chance of getting something cool there. But anyway, so that's awesome pickups. We'll just wrap it up here. I'll go over the social medias for you guys, and we've got We got a Discord where we talk about all this stuff. Also, we have an email, which we're on Gmail, anything new podcast at gmail.com. Just email us any questions that you got or anything that you want to see on the show. Just let us know. Follow us at Anything Newcast. It's on Twitter at Anything Newcast. Instagram is Anything New Podcast. And of course, YouTube is bit.ly/Anything New YT. That's YT for YouTube. Anything New YT. You can follow us there if you're not watching us here on it already. But yeah, great show, guys. Be sure and watch Dynasty Warriors this week, and we'll see you next time. Anything else?
Now we're good.
All right.
See you guys.
Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for being here.